All right, ladies, gentlemen, friends, family, leaders, and future leaders. I'm going to go ahead and do a Lent a Lent overview, so to speak. It is Wednesday, day one of Lent, day one of fasting on week 3 of the King's Initiation program. And we're about to upgrade our habits breaking and creating process just a little bit more. So you guys should already know. If not, maybe I'll take a photo. I don't know how I would. And post it. Yeah, you guys don't know precisely what I'm doing already. I have mentioned it in videos before, but if you don't know, there's already a list of habits that I have to make and break. Alcohol, weed, porn, fasting, myriad. Picking up things like the action video or the deep dive videos, the classes online. There's a myriad of habits that I already get to change and create in the process. Lent starting today, next 40 days. This is the first time I have really taken the opportunity to almost go all in, right? I'm actually still sitting here trying to think of a couple other habits to create during this time of Lent. But this is like the first time I've really dived splashed into the deep end of Lent, so to speak. Now I think I've mentioned this before. I've done little things like diet changing, and that's honestly pretty easy for me. My diet has always been something that I've been pretty well in control of. When I'm on it, that is. When I'm off it, I could go pretty far off the deep end and really just not eat so well. You might not notice, like, I am not a huge guy. I'm 150. I cannot gain weight for the life of me. The most I've ever weighed was 180. And that was in my heyday of training back in my early 20s, maybe 23. I hit about 180. I'm about 34 now. I'm going to turn 35 here in a couple months. I haven't really changed weight. I haven't stepped on the scale, but just looking at myself, knowing well how I feel, I don't think I have broken 155, maybe 160. Yeah, exercise hasn't really been consistent enough beyond maybe a pound. Maybe a pound of muscle, a pound or two at most. Muscle takes way more time to build than it takes time to lose and burn fat. Right? So let's go into Lent straight up. So in King's Initiation, there are 2 habits that they provide that you must stick to on a daily basis. 2 habits. No, there are multiple habits, 2 of which I have been absolutely just failing. And that being snacks and TV shows. So as a single man, no connection to women or children or much less the outside world, I have a lot of free time. I really do. This past winter has been relatively easy, not very strenuous when it comes to my work. My job is that of removing snow during the winter and cleaning up the yards during the summer, right? So mowing the lawn and cleaning up the sidewalks year round. Not that I've been doing that for forever. But it is the current money-making job, so to speak. And this winter was just not very beneficial. So where am I going with this? Yeah, so I've had a lot more free time this past winter, and it's carrying over, being that it is still February. March is said to have a little bit more deeper winter effects, so to speak, and I kind of hope it does, because I'm enjoying this part of the process. I actually enjoy the darkness. I enjoy the midnight hours. It really does make me feel as if I'm making change, if I choose to go that way. It could go one of two ways. I could either sit in a world of depression and not make the changes necessary that occur during winter time. Not necessarily, in comparison, this is a stupid comparison, like the trees and plants hibernate. Some animals hibernate during the winter. But quite essentially, they do break down, right? It's not like they grow too much in the winter. But it is all about holding steadfast to that essence of what a so-called tree or animal may be. Now, trees in nature are much more alive to the process of life, way more so than, let's say, humans are, who have much more ups and downs and have to decide and make decisions, and can have a more of an impact on making bad decisions. So in comparison to the tree that doesn't have the decision but ends up falling on rocky soil, it just withers out and dies. So my past winter has had a mixture of both depression and an entire rebuild up, right? I started this King's Initiation program in the beginning of February, so it's been a pretty solid transition between going from a really dark low and really starting to climb back up, folks. So I'm actually hoping that this next month, March and April, kind of still continue climbing, because I know I have a long way to go. I have a long way to go with maintaining consistency and discipline, creating discipline throughout this time. So be that as it may, this past winter was just a treachery on my diet and my time in the hammock, so to speak. I just became a lazy fart, lazy sack of crap, and it is what it is. Even during the time of changing into the program, I kept the habits of eating snacks and watching TV. Now, don't get me wrong, the time and the amount of food, of snacks that I'm eating has definitely decreased. So hating on myself, self-sabotaging has definitely decreased since the program has began. However, I'm still not perfect yet. So there's plenty of room to go. Whereas I might sit in the chair for 4 hours, now I only do it for maybe an hour, So I've cut it. I've reduced it by quite a bit, but they are still most certainly the two biggest habits that I'm still looking to break, and that's in regards to the program as well. We're going to see how we do, seeing as Lent is a different mind frame I'm noticing when it comes to making and breaking habits. I've noticed in the program, I think I've mentioned this in one of my breakthroughs of confessions, that did I just lose it? I'm noticing, oh my gosh, how did I want to say this? Excuse me. I'm noticing that, focus in versus focusing out. There it is. Doing it for the Lord versus doing it for myself, right? Most of the program I've been very, all right, I've got to do this so I can get better. I've got to make these habits, and I got to create these habits, and I've got to break these habits so I can get better for me, right? And that's not the way to go. And the point is to serve the Lord, serve the people around you. So that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm guaranteeing that Lent will bring out. It's already been a 100% realization and a breakthrough for me. So I have no doubt that I'm going to absolutely crush these goals and these habits that I'm trying to make or break. There will be 0 chips. There will be 0 sweets. There will be 0 hours of television. Over the next 40 days. It's not going to happen 100%. So besides those 2, I also wanted to start meditating. Deep breath work, deep belly breathing, essentially breathing techniques. I've already planned out I'm going to be doing breathing first off in the morning. So I'm going to be waking up at 5 until mid-March, and then I'll be having to wake up at 4 for work once we change over and transition into the new season. But the first thing I'm going to be doing is about 15 minutes of deep belly breath work, some sort of meditation. Not meditation to the point where I'm sitting silently and just being still. That's honestly the exact opposite of what I want to do. The point is to get the body activated. My trouble is, it seems in the morning, it's hard for me to wake up. Maybe not necessarily hard, but I've been saying it's been difficult to focus on the prayer that I do want to maintain in the morning. It's just been very unfocused, very just not even there. I just haven't been there. So going to church this past week helped me realize, try meditation, try the breath work. I've done it years past. I have plenty of options, plenty of ideas to follow along certain tutorials, Wim Hof especially. I'm actually sitting on a massage ball right now, FYI. So deep belly breathing and meditative practices for about 15 minutes before I do dive into prayer for another 15 minutes. So from 5 to 5:30, we're going to be doing meditative practices and then transition into the prayer work. And then from there, walk, cold shower, prep for work. Another one, church on Sundays. I enjoyed it. I loved it. More or less, I loved being with my family. In times past, I spoke to my mom about this. Why I have almost purposefully failed to present myself at family gatherings over the past several years, let's say a decade or more. I know that in times past, I might purposefully refrain from family gatherings because I know that the person that I was being at the time was just not someone that I wanted not just my family to see, but my nephews and nieces, right? There's absolutely no reason for me to there's no reason for children to surround themselves with family members that are not being present with them at the time, right? Fully present, essentially. Fully present, right? So there's no reason to be on any sort of chemical, drug, imbalance around children. It's absolutely not necessary. And all it took was one Sunday family gathering to realize how much of a difference it is being sober. And not just sober, because I've been doing so many other things. Like, I've been sober at times in family gatherings, but I still wasn't fully present, you know? But this past Sunday was such an eye-opener. I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this every week, every Sunday, family gathering with the Wizenhunts, and then go see my mother's side and just spend family day, all day Sunday. What I'm hoping for, right? What I'm going to do. Bible study. And not necessarily Bible study, but some sort of either online or in-person gathering, Zoom call that revolves around a very deep topic that I identify as as problematic, so to speak. So, sexual identity, boyhood to manhood initiation, being the strongest man that I can. Essentially, manhood is what I'm going for. It's already the process. It's already the main focus in the King's Initiation program. However, I don't think it would hurt to find an alternative study group, quite possibly out of some church event. That's really the only thing I've considered so far. I haven't quite found anything quite yet, at least things that start like today. I don't have too much free time, so it's kind of a little bit difficult. So I don't really know how we're going to make this happen. I don't want to just go on YouTube or Google and just start searching for stuff. I tried it and it's just not something I'm really interested in. I'd prefer it maintain a spiritual based, I'd prefer it be created, I don't want to say from a church aspect, but I definitely would prefer it be a more conservative-based discussion. And I don't mean it in the sense that I'm not open or interested in learning or educating myself on alternative forms of initiation into manhood or education in things like transgenderism. I think that stuff will happen much more down the line. I still personally struggle with thoughts of insecurities myself, so I would prefer to have more clarity on such topics, and would prefer them to come from a conservative background, plain and simple. So it's just like a scientist who searches for a specific answer and obviously finds it. I know some are probably going to probably have different mind frames on this, but we'll see. Maybe I'll find something else. You never know. I have friends in both aspects, in both conservative and non-traditional belief systems when it comes to self-identification and whatnot. So I'll probably ask around, see what else is out there, and we'll see. You never know. I will update you guys for sure. And then a new one that I just thought of was an absolute game changer that is probably going to be difficult for me in the beginning. Not that difficult, but it's definitely a habit that I need to consider, or that I need to definitely start, is responding to posts in the King's Initiation program. So the program itself is literally identical. Yeah, it's identical to like a Facebook program. It's very similar. The difference is it has a lot more information, a lot more studying to do. It's like Facebook, if Facebook added a class on how to socially interact with one another, right? So if that was what Facebook's ideal goal would be is, connect online through Facebook. King's Initiation Program is connecting with individuals, supporting one another through the process of becoming men. So what I want to do is basically respond to people way more, like at least 3 to 5 responses a day, whether it be supportive or giving feedback in a way, something along the lines of responding to people individually, like a one-on-one basis. So yeah, I think that's a great one for me to do. I just thought of it. But other than that, I haven't really thought of many others. Maybe I'll add some in as time goes on. I'm honestly my schedule is booked, folks. Aside from the TV shows, which does take up time, I would like to transition into connecting with others online. So besides that, I am fully booked, folks. It's an awesome time. It's a great experience. Weekends, I'm starting to fill up. Obviously, like I said, Sunday is going to be family time. And Saturdays, I think I am trying to... Saturdays I'm reserving for finishing up things that I have to complete from the previous week. This could be things like exercising, putting in time with people that I haven't connected to in a while. It seems like every weekend I have connected with someone on a profoundly deep level, at least once a weekend. And it's probably the highlight. It's probably the highlight of my week is deep connection with an individual. So it's going absolutely phenomenal. It's so great. It really is. And then what else on the weekends? Yeah, the weekend, Saturdays specifically. Like I said, Sundays are for family time. And then Saturdays just finish up everything I couldn't do during the week. I even did like taxes on the weekend. It's all the errands essentially. So they're pretty busy, grocery shopping and whatnot. Yeah, I usually grocery shop on either Friday night or Saturday because that's when my fasting ends. So that's it, folks. God willing, I make a video that's under 10 minutes. I suggest pressing the times two so you could roll through these a little bit faster. Videos. Some of my videos, I'm a little bit more lackadaisical in how I speak and whatnot. This one seems to sound a little bit more fast, but it's still coming out to 24-25 minutes. But yeah, take it as you must. Do what you can. I am me and you are you. That's about it. I am done. Lent expressively. Yeah, sure. Right.